we got ourselves another technicals video. This time, we're talking about the degenerates in the Guilty Gear community. Interesting. Let's hear it,
Talking
Mr.
about the Guilty
Technicals.
Gear Degenerates. Recently,
Hmm.
several allegations have surfaced
Okay.
against
Damn.
top players of the fighting game Guilty Gear Strive. And yes, these are blank sheets of paper, but
Okay.
it never hurts to have
Aesthetic.
a prop. I'd
Yeah.
like to heavily emphasize that there's a
100%,
distinct
dog.
difference between the general Guilty Gear community that's existed since 1998 and
Yeah.
the newer Strive community. One of the
100%.
accusers threatened me with a lawyer because
A
I
lawyer?
said I'd probably cover some of the stories coming out. I didn't even say
Okay.
who I was talking about,
Let's hear it.
seeing as there's at least 7 different people posting
Yeah.
stories.
They're gonna
Why do you have
Streisand
the
effect
resources to
themselves.
sue me for potentially talking about your case, but not for the person who allegedly is the source of all your trauma. You're not going to go to the police because that'd be a waste of time, of course. But you're willing to dedicate upwards of a year on a frivolous lawsuit? Yeah, sure.
Okay.
All right. You then DM'd me to ask what my intentions were, said you were getting harassed after threatening me.
It sounds like someone's nervous. For good reason? Let's find out.
It didn't work, then offered to help clarify details, and the same day privated your account and blocked me before I could even
This
ask
looking
you a
pretty
single question.
suspicious.
However,
Very
thankfully,
suspicious,
you're no
my
Logan
guy.
Paul, so I'm going to call your
Oh,
bluff
okay.
and talk about everything just because I can. USA!
Real.
USA! USA!
Yup. Yup, the most
I
medals,
love
baby.
America.
Does not make you safe from the law.
But
How
I'm
much
a
they
sucker
pay you
for
to say that?
suspense, so we'll save the best for last. Despite the rough start, you might be surprised to find that the Guilty Gear players are in fact guilty. Crazy stuff, I know.
Dun
but
dun.
The real question is, of what crime? Well, considering that one of these
Degeneracy.
cases involves a group of polyamorous fighting game players who lack basic social awareness, you can imagine the smell would be only one of many. I've seen what you guys did at EVO. You make me
Wait,
sick.
what happened at Evo?
Evo piss chair.
But don't worry.
Whoa, wait, whoa, wait, whoa, wait, what? Huh? Oh, man.
Papa Tech is gonna fix it.
I ain't
I'm
know
not
nothing
gonna
about
load
that.
These documents without at
That's
least
wild.
a spritz.
Respectfully. I don't blame you. Yeah, appreciate you, brother. Thank you. Appreciate
Can you
it.
guys tell me if there's something on the lens still?
Is it nut?
No? Okay. As a gamer myself, between the 12 hours of Valorant and the occasional
Word.
bathroom break, it can feel impossible to find time to fit in a shower. But what if I
Is this
told
an ad?
you could smell like a Chad King without
your chair?
requiring any basic hygiene? Well, don't get your hopes up because I'm a YouTuber, not a miracle worker. The
Oh,
shower
okay.
takes 5 minutes.
Well,
Get it?
damn.
But I can
Facts.
give you the secret post-shower confidence booster you didn't know you needed.
What?
Scentbird is an affordable fragrance subscription that gives you a wide variety of
This a
designer
new one?
brands like Prada, Versace, Gucci.
Oh,
That's
oh,
right, you can
oh.
even smell Gucci.
Damn, you can smell luxurious.
They come in these
Okay.
neat little bags and have
Uh,
a portable magnetic locking mechanism.
Hey,
Just
man.
twist and spray.
Just tell me how much it costs, dog.
Received is the Javon Rhino
I don't care. Just tell me the price.
to try. It's got notes
50%
of cedar,
off, huh?
orchids, jasmine, and Javon Rhino has sage leaves.
Cool.
The Rhino's environment back in Ujung,
Oh, man, yeah.
but they look awesome.
Yeah,
So
shout out
save
to the
my money,
rhinos.
Javon.
Yes.
If you look it up,
Shout out to
full-size
Javon, bro.
bottles
Damn, $200?
of designer stuff like this usually go anywhere from 100
Bro, my auntie make that in her freaking bathtub. Come on, man.
Is that Javon?
Javante.
I smell so good.
Oh,
I shouldn't have done that. Use
Bro went all
responsibly.
in.
Use responsibly. If you guys are interested in looks maxing and
Damn.
getting into some
so it could kill you?
designer fragrances, I've been wearing these for the past couple weeks. They actually smell
Okay.
really good. And if you use my code technical,
And all
you
the
get
bro, misplug. You could have said you got all the ladies.
55% off, which is only about $8 on your first
Okay.
order for a 30-day supply. And if you don't like
30
it, you can
days.
cancel whenever.
Damn.
No problem.
30
Thank you so much
days?
to Scentbird
That's a
for
long
sponsoring
time.
this video. Now I got a few people who I think
W
could use
ad.
these a little more than me. Be right back.
You going to
Hey,
Smash?
cameraman, you getting this?
We could Smash
Hey, you
community.
getting this, cameraman?
How about
SpongeBob.
my nuts, nigga? I know what I'm doing.
Oh, uh-oh. Fight back.
Dumbass. Alright, first, we have Tempest. As you
Okay.
can see, 2 sticky notes, a little bit of string. Over here, Luca. Lots more
Okay.
sticky notes, lots more string.
More
Serious
evidence.
Stuff.
Hmm.
Maybe a little more.
Hmm.
Never be too sure. Javon? Is Javon here?
Javante.
Shit, Javon, careful. Tempest has been accused of SA by Claire and Anema. Why
Oh,
do
man.
people do that? Just say
Oh, man.
sexual assault. That's what we're talking
man.
about, right? Every time
Oh,
I hear
man.
this, it sounds like they're speaking Spanish. Yo, essay. Hey, bro,
Stop.
what are you in for?
Stop, bro.
Nothing, man. I was just essaying a few people. It's whatever. It sounds stupid.
It's whatever, cuz.
Every time. Stop it. Stop. I attempted to reach out to Claire for further
Okay, how'd it go?
clarification. No pun intended. But I was blocked just for
Stop,
asking.
bro. Damn.
Go figure. And
Rejected.
Anema's story is a pretty open and shut case.
Okay. Claire.
Starting off with Claire, it all began at Frosty Fausting's 2023, where at an after party, a drunk Tempest was going about the room, complimenting competitors on their play. Once they reached Claire, Tempest allegedly grabbed her by the ass and skirt, lifted them up, and twirled her around. After being set down, Claire backed away to a nearby bench and was shortly followed by Tempest,
What the hell?
who, quote, started rubbing Claire's thigh by her skirt and arm.
Whoa,
then
hold on,
leaned
man.
in and whispered into their ear repeatedly,
Oh,
I
man.
love you. When I
Oh,
sent a
man.
question to Claire,
Oh,
it was
hell,
because when
whoa.
you read the DMs between both of them, she recounted the experience as being picked up by the waist at the after party. But in this Google Doc, she's now specifying it was the ass and skirt. And the only explanation for these conflicting accounts is that they were using lighter terms because they were scared, anxious, and didn't want to be confrontational. Sorry, the Javon is still in my throat. It's deep in there. Come on,
Hey,
Javon.
yo.
If that is the case, why is someone who is timid, anxious, and adverse to conflict bringing up the topic 3 days later completely out of nowhere with the expressed purpose of establishing boundaries around comfortability and the nature of their friendship? What good would it do to misconstrue the severity of the situation in private if the goal was to create mutual understanding and remain, quote, really good friends? You also said,
I mean, I don't know. Change of heart, I guess, but I don't know. I ain't never been whatever supposedly happened to her.
you're a very
You know what I'm
communicative
saying?
person when it comes to serious things like this, to Tempest. Then a day later, you're saying you have a serious problem with them to a different person you're confiding in. I guess I'm just
Oh, well, I mean, if she's really a woman, I mean, bro, I ain't gonna lie, bro. Women be doing some crazy stuff. If you're new to this channel, hey, I suggest you go look at some of my older videos, bro.
confused why
Like,
you'd
ju-
even
like just last week, brother.
wasted time lying to them in the first place. That doesn't really strike me as a great communicator. The distinction between ass and waist, I think,
It's
is also
wild.
pretty important because those aren't lighter terms, like you mentioned. Those are different terms because they are, in fact, different parts of your body. One would have far more sexual implications in both the law and social situations, and those
Facts.
pretending otherwise are simply being
No,
dishonest.
facts.
So when you're asking
That's
for public
real.
support and your story visibly changes, I think it's fair
That
if
is a
someone
little
needs further
weird, but yeah.
clarification. You're not above the
Understandable.
basic standards of proof just because you forego the legal process to post it on the internet. Now, in Tempest's response, they admit to being fairly intoxicated. Also, it's possible that Tempest doesn't properly recall the events of that evening given their drunken state, yet reaffirms it was the waist that was grabbed, doesn't remember rubbing Claire's thigh or arm, but admits to saying I love you, and apologizes and takes full accountability for making her uncomfortable, regardless of what the details might have been. This was the exact
At least
same
he's taking
sentiment expressed to me
accountability.
when I reached
Sheesh.
out privately.
Nobody, bro, nobody ever takes accountability for anything. So to see somebody finally do it, hey, fuck it, it's a dub.
Obvious advice, but
A win
if
is
you
a
get
win.
drunk to a point where you're consistently crossing boundaries, as we'll see happen again in the next story, you
Oh,
need
man.
to seriously consider being more responsible with your alcohol consumption.
Yes, yes.
Not everyone is your friend, and you shouldn't be treating them as such. This particular
That's
case
true.
happened over a year and a half ago. And given the circumstances and the confession from Tempest,
Hey, man, shout out to all the alcohol addicts, man. It's hard to quit that type of stuff, but I think you can do it, bro. Believe in yourself.
I can absolutely understand why Claire would feel uncomfortable. What I don't understand is how it's been so traumatic that it's managed to affect most of your life since it's happened. You have way more going on here if one drunk dude at an after party is causing this much emotional distress to where you're crying in the shower multiple times. Seriously, stop spending all your time on Discord and go see a therapist. Unfortunately, that's not even the worst story. The next person, Anema, makes it
I don't even know how I feel about this video.
pretty evident why alcohol and anime fighters don't mix. At Combo Breaker 2024, it was Anema's birthday, and she had been drinking a little whiskey. Tempest asked if it'd be okay to come over to her hotel room. She agreed, and eventually her, Tempest, and a friend were all hanging out together with no problems. That is, until Tempest called over Anema and proceeded to hold her close, and tell her they loved her, while apparently having an erection. Then Tempest whispered quietly,
Man,
"Your
what
ass
is-
is
what?
fat," Hold on, because it gets
Nice.
much worse. Later that night,
Like, excuse my French, but damn.
Tempest explains how they were too drunk and might need
Uh,
a place to crash for the night. Anema then offers her room as a quick solution, because 2 of the planned guests weren't going to be staying there until Thursday. Unsurprisingly, Tempest decided to sleep in her bed, and without asking, began to spontaneously cuddle. Which, after approximately 1 minute, Tempest whispered something again in her ear, followed by kissing her 3 times slowly on the face. God damn, that's weird. That's pretty much where the story ends, and it's wrapped up in a small confrontation
Bro, I ain't gonna lie. This sounds like some type of dojin or something.
in DMs over boundaries. This isn't even contested in Tempest's response. They admit the screenshots discussing it are completely accurate, states
Word.
there was no sexual intent, and provides an
Huh?
apology. Well, I don't know about not having sexual intent,
Yeah, like, bro, what? Like, are we reading the same thing?
because in DMs you were saying Anema was in the middle of a fine line between romantic interest and a close friend. So if you're staying up to ponder your feelings for this
Riding
person,
that
how
wave,
can
huh?
you then say for sure there was no sexual intent after the fact? Especially if you're not going
Post nut clarity.
to contest the arousal mentioned in Anema's story. None of that tracks. And kissing the homies goodnight is one thing, but drunkenly cuddling and kissing an unwilling participant is textbook sexual assault. Tempest has since decided to part ways with their sponsor FlyQuest and is going to be stepping away from the FGC and social media indefinitely, which I think is the appropriate choice. But I hope more
Understandable.
people will see this as a cautionary tale and hopefully understand the dangers with blurring the lines between friends, lovers, and alcohol.
Yeah, 100%. You guys need to figure out how to make that distinction. And it ain't easy, obviously. Trying to figure out emotions and all hormones and all this shit is obviously not easy because people do the shit that they do, right? But that's no excuse, man. You need to figure yourself out, for real.
Now we have Luca. Give Luca a little spritz
Okay.
of the Amber Royale. Give Luca a little battle
Amber
royale.
Royale.
Where are we dropping, Luca?
Where we dropping? Boys.
I had to record this in 2 parts because at the time of recording this, I've been notified that Luca is working on a response video. So I'll
Okay.
be right back after that drops.
Oh, respectable. Just wait for
Got
the
my Javon.
Javante.
3:28 a.m.
Okay, I
Pretty
have
meta, huh?
watched Luca's
You got
video,
notes.
and now
You
I'm
got
back.
notes on it.
Our next suspect is Luca, aka Red I Am Not on Twitter, who has at least 5 people that posted a statement about them. This is either a bandwagon or the most devious motherfucker in Guilty Gear history. I don't know
Really?
why you would choose to be polyamorous in esports of all places. Did you just wake up one day and say, you know what would be nice? Dating multiple people with no social skills, dating experience, or real hobbies. How could this possibly go wrong?
Bro, that shit gonna blow up. That shit is gonna
Let's start
blow.
with the most notable accuser, the top player Umisho. Umisho
Okay.
alleges that Luca, for a period of 3 to 5 months, was showering her with affection and propositions, which she liked, as she was desperate for it. But in hindsight, says it's clear they were only interested in me for sexual reasons and piling on pretty words to try and get me to want to do things with them. Fast forward to Frosty Faustings 2024, where yet another story is now taking place. Might as well be a tradition at this point. At this event, Umisho agreed to hook up with Luca, but by the time it rolled around, she
Oh,
changed
boy.
her mind after talking to some friends.
Oh,
then
boy,
says
oh, boy.
Luca spent the entire weekend attempting to get her alone for what they assumed was the planned hookup, and even allegedly
yeah.
felt her up in a hotel room full of people as she repeatedly
he
asked them to
fiended.
stop.
He
Luca
fiended.
states in their response
Yeah,
that
he
most of the
fiended.
time spent together was with mutual friends, and denies that any groping even took place.
The
Word.
time I did
Uh-oh,
spend with him
now
at
we
the
got
event
he said,
itself
she
was
said.
almost always
Uh-oh.
surrounded by mutual friends we had. It's also entirely false that I tried to feel her up in a hotel room and was rejected. We only had a few intimate encounters at the event hotel itself. Both were in her hotel room.
Them both making out in a room full of people is actually corroborated by a different
Huh?
message from Bunny. And this evidence
Okay.
is a little further removed, but another player testified back in May that Razo indicated Umisho never expressed a concern for sexual assault. Next, Umisho says that in the dead hours of 5 a.m., Luca scared everyone in her hotel room by showing up at the door drunk to talk to her. This was corroborated by Nixia Dash, who
4
was
a.m..
mentioned in the
Bro, he going through it because he drinking all night till 4 a.m. and he's like, yeah, I'm gonna go tell her how I feel. Oh boy.
statement. However,
Oh
there's some
boy, oh
missing
boy.
context here. Luca shows in their response that Katie, aka the FlyQuest player Razzo, can corroborate that they did in fact reach out ahead of time to notify of their arrival. And looking at the DMs, it's very obvious that Luca was going up to meet Razzo, not Umisho. All of the claims considered, at face value, Umisho presents a pretty terrible experience, so you can imagine my shock when the next thing she decided to do was to have sex with Luca. I kept them around, and I'm
Oh,
ashamed
boy.
to say I even gave them what they came for in the first place.
Oh,
What a
boy.
twist! Remember
Oh,
at the
boy.
beginning when Umisho said Luca was clearly
What
only
could go
interested
wrong?
in them for sexual reasons? Well, in DMs, she seems to be the one worried about using Luca for sex. I
Oh,
hope you
boy.
can believe that I wasn't just using you for sex.
Oh,
I'd not
boy.
felt that way in a long time, and the resulting mania got the best of me. I'm
Oh,
sorry
man.
you had to feel that way too. Okay, now I'm definitely confused. Her response
got a
to that
confession.
DM being shown is that she was purely trying to satisfy Luca so they'd stop spreading rumors behind her back. However, these rumors aren't explained or substantiated.
Yeah, bro,
Umisho
what?
follows up by saying she's scared half to death of this person, and they can ruin her life in minutes if they wanted to with the messages she sent them. Which I can only assume is alluding to concerns of revenge porn, and I think was even elaborated upon by Umisho. It seems like this concern was already addressed months before any of this coming out, though.
This doesn't
Okay.
make that much sense since she asked me directly back in March, about a month after we broke up, to delete any compromising pictures I had of her, since she told me she was anxious about it. And after she requested proof and I sent it, she blocked me on everything. She also left out mentioning anything after the actual event itself, which I thought was pretty strange to leave out. I spent a few days over at her house after the event itself because of complications with my flight, which is where, after having sex, she asked me out and we started a relationship.
She
What
then
the
asked
hell is
Luca
going
out,
on?
and they started dating, planned a 2-week trip to see each other,
Okay.
then broke up right before she was expected to go.
Oh
As an outside
boy.
observer,
Bro, this relationship is messy as hell, bro. Why do we need to know this, bro?
like everyone else, I would seriously need more context to believe a single word here. Umisho is calling Luca an idiot, manipulator, and an abuser, yet was desperate for the attention, chose to have sex with them, apologized for possibly making them feel like she was using them, asked them out, and went as far as deleting all of their Discord messages.
I ran into a bit of a roadblock when I was first getting screenshots to talk about my experience with her, because she went back into our Discord DMs and deleted every single message she sent to me on Discord.
That's
And the
wild.
explanation for doing it only leaves more questions than
Hell
answers,
no.
because why
Bro,
would you have
why would you need to do all that?
to lie about being manic if the goal was to simply give a satisfactory response? And what are the rumors from Luca that would require such a roundabout method in the first place? Not to mention she changed her view on Luca after seeing Bunny's story and listening to a friend? And to be honest, I'm not exactly certain of Luca's character either. The one who was jumping to a different person between Bunny, Razzo, and Umisho seemingly every hour of this event. Call me old-fashioned, but that's fucking weird. I'd also like to see Umisho eventually provide some witness testimony if this alleged groping really did happen in a room full of people, because all we have right now is a corroborated story of you both making out, which you never mentioned in your original post, by the way.
Huh. Leaving out details.
Next on our list is Rain, who, yep, also has me blocked.
Damn,
That's probably for
how
the best,
convenient.
because this is the dumbest story yet. I
Oh,
shared a
word,
weird
I'm
experience
ready.
I had at Combo Breaker
Are you
2024
ready?
with Luca. At Combo Breaker 2024,
If you're enjoying the video, hit the like button just like this. Boom. Shout out to Technicals. Let's go.
Rain states that she was worried she might fit into Luca's type, after learning what it was from a friend, and found it weird that they were now receiving more attention from Luca than they usually do. Luca is a Strive player who I've been around at like multiple events, and at Combo Breaker was basically the first time they acknowledged my existence on the day where I was wearing my dress at Strive pools. Just thinking about what I've been told about Luca, and then them giving me a lot of attention out of nowhere felt really weird. Like saying hi to Rain several times and asking her a question about her ex, which she declined to comment on, as to avoid spreading rumors. Luca responded that it was fine, and while placing a hand on her shoulder, mentioned they hoped she was doing okay. This apparently soured her night. Rain also recounts how she went
okay.
into the bathroom and saw Luca with 2 other people. Luca
Oh,
told
boy.
someone to say hi to her, and she might have heard them say, "This was the girl I was talking about."
Oh,
Ooh.
man.
I don't know.
Oh,
That
man.
night was kind of the first night I felt like I sort of was being objectified, and it was kind of unsettling. I really hope it's nothing more than them being drunk. At points, I didn't mind the attention either. I had this weird back and forth in my mind where I was like, I know this might not be good, but also I sort of like it, but also not really, but also I sort of did?
Bro, you got conflict inside your heart.
Real victims come out with stories about rape, sexual assault, grooming, etc. And here comes Rain smack dab in the middle to inform us if they were happy about the positive attention they were receiving from a drunk guy and them hoping that she was okay. Just
man.
because you see an allegation on the timeline does not mean that it's an invitation. But I'm
Facts.
guessing you
But,
sort of like
hey,
the
there it
attention,
is.
but also
Yes.
not really, but also
Yeah,
you
exactly.
sort of do.
Exactly. Exactly, brother. Like, she doesn't know if she wants the attention or does not, bro. That's crazy.
Fucked. I'm so sorry this happened to either of you.
No, nothing that happened here is fucked. Stop enabling this stupid shit with your empty condolences. You're not helping anyone.
Lamau.
In fact, you are actively making it worse by promoting these useless stories from bored narcissists.
Bored narcissist.
Originally, I
That's
was going to
crazy.
talk about the document from Ori, but they deleted their tweet, and it was essentially just complaining about Luca not responding to their messages and how their relationship was bad. Whatever.
Interesting.
Moving on.
2D.
This is a quick one, and I apologize ahead of time for the
W
brain rot,
cosplay.
but stay with me. 2D accused Luca of telling friends how much she wanted to fuck them and attempted to burn down her relationship with an ex named Corey. The first allegation is corroborated by an anonymous witness testimony who apparently overheard this conversation at CEO Taku. Luca admits to having feelings for her at the time, but calls the rest some hot shit. This allegation is plausible, but it's basically just
Okay.
gossip, given that this is the only evidence.
That's exactly what
So
it
I'll
sounds
leave at
like.
that. The second claim is in reference to Luca asking 2D about a rumor they heard about her cheating on her ex. My entire understanding of the relationship was from a friend Mac, who's only heard Corey's side. Said something like y'all were on and off for a while and Corey claimed you cheated or something, which is why I wanted to ask for your side on what happened, instead
Okay.
of just being like, oh yeah, makes sense.
Oh, yeah,
I don't
makes
think
sense.
trying to burn down your relationship is a fair characterization here, because it's pretty obvious in DMs that Luca's just asking for clarification. Someone who wants to spread rumors and cause drama will just go and do that. They don't usually ask someone for the truth privately.
She thinking like extra steps ahead of whatever's going on.
What Luca was doing was pretending to be a trusting ear. All that to spread drama like a scum.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying? Like, she's doing mental gymnastics. Like, oh, he doesn't really care about me. He's just saying this so he can use me. But I'm actually using him the whole time. Like some fucking anime, bro. You feel me?
However, she provides no evidence of them spreading
in her
drama
head.
like a scum, and
It's in
even
her
when
head.
Luca recounts the experience in a public server, they refrain from giving the juicy details, which doesn't exactly support her accusation either. So I guess that concludes the claims from 2D, which has to be the most high school level drama besides Rain out of this entire Stripe dumpster fire. Oh, and she also has me blocked.
Damn, crazy.
We're finally here. The beginning and the end of all these allegations. The person referenced in so many other stories, Bunny. At the
Okay.
beginning of their most recent document, Bunny says, "I'm not someone who starts or likes drama." Bull fucking shit. This is 12
Call him out.
pages and could have easily been handled privately if sent to the right people. Also, you threatened to get a lawyer for a YouTuber. If your
Oh.
goal was to not start drama, congratulations. You
Streisand.
failed. Why are you
Oh.
choosing to start shit with someone, then acting like you're in any real danger because you got a little backlash? This is the exact same thing Leffen does, and it's insulting you'd think I'd fall for such a blatantly manipulative tactic. No one in my community has ever harmed anyone as a result of online disagreements, and there's absolutely zero reason to think they would. Your paranoid delusions aren't my problem. I've seen
Facts.
many posts and comments stating, why not file police reports? Why post documents on the internet? Hypothetically, if I filed a report and it did not hold up, people would discredit my sexual assault more than they have. Posting what I did not only brought immediate attention to it, but also brought immediate action within our community. Since we're engaging in hypotheticals, you posted a public document with the expectation that you'd get immediate results from the internet, right? Yet you didn't think about what publicizing a story means? Are you new to the internet? If you need more information, please ask. I
Make
will
it make
provide
sense,
anything
bro.
within reason. Yeah, so I guess that was a fucking lie. Anyways, with that settled, we
Block.
find ourselves back at it again
Oh
at
my
Farming and
gosh.
Faustings
And
2024,
yeah, we're
where
back.
Bunny alleges that Luca sexually assaulted them at the New Head hotel room. More specifically,
Okay.
that while cuddling in bed, Luca tried to shove their hand down Bunny's pants. Well, how did we get to this point? The weeks leading up to the event, Bunny brought up, quote, penciling
Bro, we got
Luca in
receipts
for
on
some
top of
cuddling
receipts.
if they were into that, which Luca replied that they would be interested.
Oh,
Further
well, there we
discussion
go.
around the details of cuddling took place. Then a few days later, Luca said, I wouldn't mind taking naps with you. Being able to take a break from feeling drained in crowds to just cozy up next to you and fall asleep sounds dreamy. Bunny, you're cute. Luca, and you're adorable. Fast forward to the event, where Bunny decides to go take a nap. They're saying intentions were not expressed beforehand, and the way it's explained makes it seem like Luca just jumped into the bed out of nowhere. Even the witness testimonies gathered by Bunny share a similar...
It's one of those, like, she's saying one thing, but not really. She's like, and you know, normally I'm the type of person to be like, you know, maybe she's not doing it on purpose, but honestly, from the shit that I've seen, yo, Bunny might just be a supervillain for real, for real.
awkward
Honestly.
or uncomfortable vibe in the room.
She might have put all this shit together just to get at old boy for some
We're just
reason.
talking about how this started.
This sounds
and not the
ridiculous.
alleged assault. I think if you're flirting for weeks, bring up cuddling,
Yes,
and
it's like-
discuss napping together at this
These are hella receipts, bro. These are damning receipts at that.
specific event. Then
Bro,
during the
and then
event,
you make
go
all
to
this shit
take a
up?
nap, it's not
Come on, bro.
surprising they'd assume cuddling would be okay. And if you had a problem, you should have mentioned that, especially if it was your idea to begin with. Because when you write stuff like, they did not ask to join me in bed, and use testimonies from people who have no prior knowledge of your conversations, I feel like you want me to be appalled. But this was clearly a planned thing that was talked about. And
Exactly.
you omitted
Exactly, bro. Exactly. She's a freaking supervillain, bro. I'm telling y'all, man, y'all better be careful with these ladies out here. Some of them, they tricky, bro.
those DMs in not
Be
only your
careful.
original post, but the comprehensive documents sent to TOs as well. So I had to go find them in Luca's response.
Huh.
So, wording I saw thrown around a lot is that I followed Bunny into the room and that I.
And the story is just
crawled into
made
bed with
up.
them Without
You hear that? They're like, this shit was just made up through gossip, through all this other BS. This was all spun. None of this shit really happened.
a prior invitation. This is patently false.
Everybody, this is what happens with the gossip train. It's like, oh, I saw this, oh, I saw that, oh, that. And nobody saw anything. Nobody saw a damn thing. It was all made up, bro.
We
That's
were spending
insane.
time together during my pool at Frosty.
This is
as
common.
Shown in
This
this
is
clip here.
common, bro.
to the losers, but one character switch.
Scary common.
And after my pool match was finished, we both agreed to go up to the room to take a nap together and cuddle.
Also, the wording aside, there's nowhere stating anywhere that you were against it. In fact, there's a couple messages that would suggest the exact opposite. I don't let just any person cuddle me. I thought it was more than obvious that there was a romantic interest. And I don't know what
Bro.
about this weekend made you even think I wasn't
You need more receipts, bro. Like, this is like, oh yeah, well, I need more receipts, bro. Here's more receipts. Right here.
interested when I was
Bro,
trying to
more
hold your
receipts.
hand and hug you every time I saw you. My point with all this being that your framing here seems a little unnecessary and at worst flat out dishonest, especially if you believe your allegation of sexual assault is already cut and dry.
This is
There would
crazy.
be no point to retroactively make things worse. As far as Luca
This
allegedly
is
shoving
great.
their hand down your pants, you state that you said no, pulled away multiple times, and that the assault didn't stop until someone knocked on the door and you got up, and that you clearly communicated both vocally and physically that you were not okay with it. Luca is saying that their hands were down by your lower mid-region, but they immediately apologized and stopped once you notified them that you were asexual. Then claims you both went to sleep until you heard a knock at the door.
Here's a statement from Lucian SFL, the person who was at the door, who noted that Valor was awake whenever the door was answered, which Bunny stated that Valor was completely asleep the entire time. Bunny came back to bed after answering the door, which all things considered would be a pretty strange thing to do if they were being physically restrained and assaulted the entire time, and that we both left the room together to head downstairs.
I reached out to Valor privately to see if he'd heard anything taking place between you two, seeing as he was in the bed right next to you. But he was reportedly in and out of sleep, trying to take a nap, and only woke up once the knock on the door occurred. Moving on, Luca also states that you both went back to the same hotel room the next day to cuddle, and they kept their hands above waist to respect your boundaries.
Bro,
if Luca's version of events isn't accurate, and they were actively disrespecting your boundaries up until the knock on the door, I'd really like to hear from Bunny about the next day of cuddling, which they didn't address.
Like, bro, twice? Like, no, bro. She's a supervillain.
Document.
Point blank, period, bro. She's a supervillain.
Bunny stated that there was clear communication in both verbal and physical reactions to what Luca was doing. But if you look at the details, lied about being asexual instead of just saying they're uncomfortable, didn't say anything when Luca got into the bed in the first place, but rather jokingly signaled for
I feel like the first one is just extra
to join them.
That's
instead
extra
of saying
spice,
they were
but
uncomfortable.
the
And
second
in
one
DMs
is
describes how they're not good with physical affection or saying things, and it's hard for them to say no and expect for Luca to listen because of past trauma. Taking all of those reactions into account, I think it's fairly unlikely that the communication was as clear as Bunny is stating. It's more than likely that Bunny might have been uncomfortable, but used things like lying about their sexuality or shifting positions in bed as their clear indicators of discomfort.
Yeah,
However,
that's the
lying
lack
about your
of communication.
sexuality is not clear communication.
Yes,
Another
exactly.
factor that I don't think is
And like maybe she didn't know that. You know, I can give that benefit of a doubt.
being considered enough here is the case
Emotions
between
are
Luca
hard.
and Umi show, as the resulting jealousy from Bunny is explicitly relayed through DMs. If you felt a little jealous about Katie and Maddie being around each other, I want you to think about how I felt sitting there and finding out you and Claire had a thing, because you both are suddenly full-on making out in a bed. I've never tried to be poly, and I honestly have no idea if I can be. Bunny also said they were seeing where things went, but it seems like neither of them truly had the right idea of what the other's intentions were.
Yeah, for real, man. Lack of communication, bro. Y'all need to start talking more.
Case of miscommunication.
It sounds like it.
Said it was, but I guess now it's a clear-cut instance of sexual assault.
Yeah, so like, bro, the mental gymnastics, bro, and it's hard, bro. It's either she's a supervillain or she's super naive and then took it to the extreme.
Is it possible that this
Like,
is just a case of being a fuckboy gone wrong, parentheses sexual?
Maybe.
To be honest, that's what it's starting to sound like to me. The whole file I have on Luca is degenerate as fuck. Don't get me wrong. But the people all coming out with stories are framing things in a certain way where they're not accountable for their own situation at all. And it's all Luca's fault. And while Luca might not have been as emotionally available as they could have been, that's not exactly twit-longer material. If you're a grown-ass adult and someone being nice to you is enough to get you to do whatever they want, then I have a great timeshare opportunity in New Jersey that I think you'd love. Did I mention your hair looks amazing today? We got cuddling gone wrong allegations, polyamorous hookups, bad relationships, compliments, and rumors. The only case with Luca that I think deserves a further look is maybe Bunny's. And I would have absolutely loved to investigate it. But unfortunately, this is also the only person who threatened to get a lawyer despite saying they'd be willing to answer questions. So I doubt
bro, what the hell? So at first she's willing to help, and then the second time she's like, nah, never mind, I take that back. Yeah, block and then block. See, and then it's like, bro, that's super irrational. That is not something a rational person does, bro. How you gonna say, yeah, I'm gonna volunteer stuff, and then immediately take it back, and then block because you don't want a response? Like, that's pretty irrational, right? So maybe she's just crazy.
If you didn't want a bunch of random people's input and YouTubers
maybe
making
she's
money
just
off
crazy.
Of it, maybe don't plaster your shit with a clickable headline on the
That's
biggest
also
social
true.
media platform of our generation. But I'll probably still get hundreds of comments from the crowd who blindly reply, "Sorry this happened," on literally everything without a single critical thought in their head. In conclusion, I'm glad that Tempest
It's hard to think critically, man. It's definitely hard because people usually try and stick to one thing. Even me in this video, bro, I'm over here switching around my opinion because I can. Just like you can. You can switch your opinion around, bro. You don't gotta just, well, I'm only on this side. Okay, well, you're an idiot. Or I'm only on that side. Okay, you're an idiot, bro. It's okay to look at stuff and be like, okay, we got new evidence. Okay, we got new evidence to contradict that evidence. Oh, we got new evidence that contradicts that one. Yeah, that's what the law is about, bro. It's about being fair and unbiased. And whenever you get some new information, bro, you can change your opinion. All right, let's see what else Technicals got to say.
Tempest is voluntarily stepping away from the FGC, and while I think Luca is a Discord fuckboy, I need way more evidence before I can see any real conviction here. But that probably doesn't matter because the public already has their verdict, and I'm certain they'll both be banned for life regardless. This has been the Guilty Gear Degenerates.
That'd be actually, if they were both banned for life, I think that'd be a pretty good outcome.
Don't forget to like and subscribe for more content like this, and if you want to get rid of that
this was a great lesson
lingering from these stories, use code Technicals and get 55% off your
55.
first order of Scentbird. You'll thank me.
55.
Like to see
Damn,
future,
that's more than half.
Send me an email here, and I'll see
email him.
Thank you to my lovely patrons. You guys make all of this possible.
Thanks. Shout out to the Patreons.
Ready for you soon. I promise.
Hey, shout out to the members. Shout out to my 6 members, bro. Y'all the best. Also, we got music reactions. If y'all want music reactions, check out the new price. It's absolutely insane, and it's only for ones that actually want the music request. So that's everything. Link it in the description. Join the Discord. Hit like. Subscribe if you're new, man. Subscribe if you're new, because I like checking out new videos. So if you subscribe and you join the Discord, you drop a video like this, I might just check it out, and we might gain even more people that like a whole bunch of different stuff, because that's also what I'm trying to look for as well. All right. Till next time, I'll see you guys when I see you guys. Y'all have a good one. Peace.